love being immersed in a park. Oh my gosh, it's so calming. Hmm. So I made it to another park. It's not very big. It's like really, really small. It's more for like walking around or just like lounging or something. But I realized, and this is from observing one very gross thing, but nature has a way of correcting and balancing everything, because the amount of dead iguanas that I have walked past is insane. And the thing is, the iguanas are an invasive species in Florida. And even though Florida has become very known for the iguanas, because they're literally just everywhere, they're not native to here. So when the weather gets super cold, not like super cold like New York cold, but Florida cold, so like 40s up, well, lower 40s. Sometimes it drops into like the upper 30s, but once it cools down, these things start dropping out the trees like cannonballs. And I'm realizing that once they fall out the trees, they don't survive, which is sad, but it also balances the ecosystem because now they're not walking around and eating every type of plant that they're not supposed to eat, and they do eat everything. Yeah. So I have to be looking down very, very, very intently in order to not step on a carcass. And I came very close a few times. And even where I'm standing now, it's like I stood somewhere further and then I looked over into the grass and there was one. And I'm like, wow. But then even I don't know, because even I saw this giant one that was just laying in the middle of the grass, and the tree that I assume it fell out of didn't look that big and it wasn't that tall. So I'm kind of confused because it doesn't line up to where it fell, if it probably fell. And yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about iguanas the first thing, but the whole point of that was to say nature balances things. Yeah. So if things are out of whack and out of balance and everything, life, nature, and all of that always find a way to bring it back into harmony and balance and make everything feel like it's all right. It removes what's not supposed to be there and continues with what is supposed to be there. I hear a lot of animals around me. The squirrels like to jump up and down in the trees and they make a whole bunch of noise. But I love hearing the birds and the squirrels making weird noises, fooling me thinking it's a baby kitten. Well, kittens are babies, but a baby cat. But I'm happy I ventured out again. Proud of myself for doing this. And I will be venturing out more because it's getting warmer. Spring is around the corner. This is me saying hopefully it comes very, 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 very early. But I'm going to enjoy the rest of this walk. This was actually the only reason why I came to this park. But yeah, oh well, I guess I'll just stick to the birds singing and the constructions happening across the street because Besides the construction, it's very quiet. Yep, I found another park. I just passed this random man, and because I have my camera in my hands, he was like, "Hello, your phone not good enough? You had to bring your camera?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." He was like, "Okay, I understand." I was like, maybe he was just trying to do small talk or something, because that's just weird. That's just weird. But people miss talking to other people, so I can't really say anything. And we're losing the art of socialization and actually communicating with each other very quickly, because as much as we think that social media is what's keeping us connected, it's actually disconnecting us for the most part, because we don't really do things. I mean, most people don't really do things for, hey, I'm gonna do it for myself. And if I take pictures, I take pictures. It's mostly, let me go do this because I could get a Instagram picture out of it or something. It's like, what do you do for you now? What would you do if no one was watching? If there was no social media? If you couldn't film anything, you couldn't take any photography of anything, what would you do? Me? I'd be doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing right now, finding a park and walking through it. Yeah. I am certainly not on the track anymore. I kind of saw this little area where it looked like I could walk, but it doesn't go anywhere. So I think I might have to go back. And there's a lot of blue jays over here. Oh, cool. I had planned to go to the beach this week. That didn't happen. When I tell you that rest has literally taken priority over everything, rest has taken priority over everything. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I mean, how could I be mad? My body needs to rest, obviously. And I'm happy that I'm finally resting. It's crazy because it's like I realize that I'm the type of person who likes to push and to always do something and always have something on my to-do list in order to feel accomplished and just, do something for the day. But I am constantly being reminded that it doesn't matter what I have to do or anything. The only thing that matters is that sometimes we just have to be. No tasks, no pressing matters, just be with ourselves. I think these moments of stillness that I get in the park are reminding me that my only job is to be myself. Literally, be myself and just allow life to happen. Because another thing that I was reminded of, I got distracted. The wind is blowing the leaves that have fallen, and it sounds like a lizard. So I'm just like, oh, is there one? But no. Anyways, I'm being reminded that life bends towards your will. And what I mean by that is you have the goals and the dreams and everything that you want to do with your life. And life has a way of just becoming that GPS that guides you towards those goals and dreams and everything that you do have. And sometimes things will be very hectic and everything just seems like it's just so fast paced and everything. And then other times, nothing. And you sit around reading multiple books, maybe watching Netflix series or two, and just wait for the day to pass. But it's all balanced because if it wasn't, we'd just be very afraid and just a ball of mess. But it all comes back to balance. And if we don't balance the things that we're doing, and if something's off somewhere, it's going to be balanced somewhere else. And if you're not aware of that while you're doing things, yeah, you might be doing a huge disservice to yourself. This construction noise is insane though. But they're working. And then right beside it, it's somewhere very calm. So again, it's a balance. Okay, so I made it to the other side of the boardwalk. So I guess it's only the boardwalk that was closed off, right? And then I see this sign. Every time I forget how wild Florida is, it just nicely reminds me in the most insane ways. I mean, there's something across the way that looks like an alligator laying down, but I don't know. It could just be the roots of the tree that just looks very weird, but I don't know. And it's very far from me, so I don't need to find out. It does look very, very alligator-ish, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I overheard something recently where it was an advice that was given that said, don't plan your days too meticulously, where you don't even have a second to, I'm paraphrasing, of course, where you don't even have a second to breathe and to allow random things to happen. Because when you do plan things so meticulously, the spark of the unexpected doesn't really happen. Even though, even though whatever is supposed to happen will actually happen, because it doesn't matter how much we plan, and it seriously does not matter anything that we say we're gonna do when life actually says this is the way you're going. Guess what? That's the way we're going. But I think I like the idea of not planning every second of the day, because you need time to allow yourself to rest and for your brain to absorb what you're doing. Because a lot of people feel like the only rest that they need is when they go to sleep. If the only time when you give yourself, your brain, a time to rest is when you go to sleep, it's like, come on. No, you need to do better. You need to do better. Your whole body is crying for you to do better. And if you don't do better, well, guess what? It's going to balance itself out, right? And when it does balance itself out, that looks like you getting sick. You can't do the things that you were so busy doing because now you're too sick to move. Listen, every single thing balance itself back out. If all my rambling today don't actually tell you one thing, it should tell you this. You need more rest than just sleep. You need to take care of your body. You need to eat right. And do it because you love yourself, not because of anything else. Oh, I found a quieter spot. Yes. No construction sound or anything around this side because I guess it's more deeper into the park and it's so quiet. So the only thing that I really heard was like the squirrels jumping on the trees, as they normally do. Do you understand how much more calm you'll be? How clear your brain will feel? How relaxed your body will feel when you simply give it enough time to rest? Do you understand that? Do you? Because we as a society just keep going and keep going and keep going and then think, oh, the if you get 8 hours of sleep, yeah, if that's enough. And that's a huge if because not everyone gets 8 hours. I think there's somebody walking by. There was a whole person riding a bicycle, a very noisy bicycle. Anyways, yeah. I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, we keep going and we keep going and we keep going because we don't know anything else. We've never learned that we need to stop. And to how society is actually set up, if you stop, you can't eat or you can't even survive. So a lot of people are in survival mode. And because they're in survival mode, it becomes very hard to think of anything else. And honestly, if you don't choose to participate, you don't have to. There's always a different way. And I can't tell you what way to take because my way is completely different from yours and my life is completely different from yours. The things that I can say I'm not doing and I'll never do, maybe you can't ever say that. But I'll add a yet. Because if you willingly and if you genuinely want something to change in your life where you prioritize more rest and you feel what it feels like to be relaxed and not rushing all the time, you can do it. Little birdie. There's a bird on the tree. But yeah, you can do it. You can do, I believe in you. You can do it. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some work. It took me a lot of work to get here. And it took me a lot of self-reflection and asking myself, is this what I really want? Is this what I really want? Is this how I want to continue living my life? Being tired all the time, not getting enough rest, just being frazzled and on edge all the time. Is that how I truly want to live? And the answer was no. So slowly, I just started to stop doing a whole lot of things. And me stopping doing a lot of things have freed up my time to where I can take a day without thinking of doing anything else. You need that in your life. How are you going to get there? That's your journey. It really is your journey. Can we all get there? Yes, we absolutely can. Because when we become a society that prioritizes rest over rushing and over doing things very fast and just getting things, just the hustle. When we become a society that prioritizes rest over hustle, we will have a lot of happier people. We will have a lot of people doing things that they want to do instead of doing things because they think that's what they're supposed to do. So we're all on this journey together. Really, we are. And whenever one of us learns something, we share it with somebody. And whenever somebody else learns something, we share it with somebody else. And that's, I feel, is what has allowed humanity to really evolve into the beings that we are today, especially technology wise, because we never stop looking. We never stop looking, and we don't really take no for an answer. And that's what makes us different, and that's what makes us special. But I think what we need to do more is the rest, because we can have all of these things to optimize our time and to do this and to do that and all of that. But when those optimizations stop working and you're too tired to do anything, what then? What do you do then? Yeah. If you didn't have to do anything when you wake up tomorrow morning, if you don't have to do anything, what would you do? There's a squirrel just walking in the middle. Let me show you. He just randomly came around the corner. I guess he wanted to hear what I was saying. But, I'm happy I found this little place. I really am. It's just random. Absolutely random. And again, I gave myself that space in order for random things to happen. Yeah. I think it's time we stop adding things to our plate and start removing, because we need to rest. And if we don't choose it, we're just going to keep going like we're crazy. Don't you think?